My brother's plastic cup tapped like a warning bell. Ding, ding, ding. Right before he humiliated me in front of our whole family. Here's to the one who always shows up, he announced. Broke, desperate, still trying to matter.
People laughed.
My parents laughed. And he grinned at me, while I was the one quietly paying his rent. That's the day I decided. I wasn't just ending the joke. I was ending him using me. Call TO action, 15 seconds. If you've ever had someone take advantage of your kindness, hit that subscribe button. Drop a like if you felt that sting of betrayal from someone who should have had your back. And comment where you're watching from, because this story, it's about boundaries, money, and the moment the good sibling finally snaps. My name is Sophie Carter. I'm 34, and for almost 2 years I was a silent sponsor for my older brother, Tyler. Not a helper. Not a supportive sister.
No.
I was a walking, talking, emotional ATM with a routing number for a heart. Every month, like clockwork, while he strutted around pretending to be holding things together, I transferred the exact amount to keep him from being evicted. Payroll for a grown man. Rent for a fully functioning adult who claimed the universe was always out to get him. And the whole family believed he was helping me.
Yeah.
Let that sink in. So, on that warm afternoon outside Nashville, sunlight flickering through the picnic shelter, kids running around with sticky lemonade fingers, I had already promised myself something dangerous. One more disrespectful joke from him, and I was done. I didn't expect the joke to be a toast. Tyler rose from the picnic table like some kind of discount motivational speaker, tapping his cup. Heads turned. Conversation stopped. Even the Bluetooth speaker sputtered to a whisper. All right, everyone. A toast, he declared. To the one who always shows up. Broke, desperate, and still trying to matter. The laugh hit me like a shove. My chest tightened. My face burned hot. But my hands were steady. That mattered. Because just a week before, this same man had texted me. Rent's due again. Can you move some money? I swear it's the last time. The last time. Out of the 22 last times he'd had that year. He looked right at me as he delivered his punchline. Like it was tradition to publicly chip away at me. Like my humiliation was the main event. And something in me finally clicked. Not snapped, clicked.
Clean.
Final.
Cold.
I raised my cup. To the desperate one, I said, my voice calm, who just lost access to the account that's been paying your rent. It was like someone had ripped the batteries out of the entire picnic.
Shock.
Silence. The air froze so hard you could hear thoughts shatter. Tyler's grin strangled itself into a twitch. My mother's jaw met the floor. My dad froze mid-laugh, like someone hit his pause button. Then the unraveling began. Tyler forced a laugh. Funny, soft, really dramatic. But there was a tremor beneath it. He knew. He knew I wasn't bluffing. My dad jumped in with his usual damage control. Let's not make a big deal out of a joke.
I didn't sit down.
I didn't smile. I didn't explain. I just stood there, letting the silence do the talking. Because for years, I'd filled silence with apologies, excuses, and explanations. Not anymore. Tyler's voice dropped. You really closed it? No, I said. I ended it. My mother hissed, Sophie not here. But the truth was already out. His girlfriend, Megan, the one person who never called him out, looked at him slowly, like she'd just realized her boyfriend was a hologram with debt. Tyler, she whispered, you told me you were handling it. His mask cracked. The crack widened. He snapped at me. You're punishing me over a joke?
No, irraplia.
I'm correcting a relationship. That's when the picnic died. People pretended to keep eating potato salad, but every fork moved at 0.25 speed. Eyes darted. Whispers spread. I stayed long enough to be polite, then told them I had work and left. The drive back to my hotel felt like moving through molasses, memories, words, moments crashing into me like debris. When I finally got to my room, my phone was a grenade launcher. Missed calls, family texts, and then a voice note from Tyler. Not a text. A voice note. The digital equivalent of sit down. We need to talk. I listened. His voice was stripped of swagger. Soph. That was messed up, okay?
But you can't just cut me off like that.
Rent's due Monday. I've got like $80.
Please. I'm screwed.
Then softer. More manipulative. You know I'd help you if it were the other way around. And that lie ignited something in me. Because if the roles were reversed, he'd send a sad emoji. I opened my banking app, thumb hovering over the transfer like muscle memory. Autopay. On. 23 transactions. All identical. Temporary turned indefinite while I wasn't looking. But then a different voice inside me whispered, "You've said one last time at least 6 times. I didn't hit transfer. I hit cancel. And when the confirmation popped up, "Are you sure?" I clicked yes. It felt like ripping an 4-line out of my soul. I recorded my own voice message. "Tyler, I'm not paying your rent anymore. It's not helping you. It's draining me. If you want help making a plan, I'm here. But my wallet is closed." A moment later, another text came through. From an unknown number. "Hi, this is Mark Jennings, your brother Tyler's landlord." He'd given out my number like I was his billing department. I told the landlord simply, "There will be no transfer for me this month. Tyler will need to contact you." And with that, the fallout began. My parents summoned me for a talk. Like I was a teenager who broke curfew. When I walked in, I felt it instantly. Judgment thick enough to cut with a steak knife. Tyler sat at the table, foot bouncing like a jackhammer. Megan stared at her hands. My dad stood like a disappointed CEO. My mother clutched a plate she didn't need to wash. "So," my dad said, closing that account in front of everyone, "that was low." I laughed. Not happily, helplessly. "The toast was low," I said. Ending the account was overdue. Tyler lunged into his defense. "You could have talked to me. You didn't have to expose me." "My business," I corrected. "It was my money, my account, my name on the transfers. You used my help and turned it into your entitlement." Megan's voice cut through the air. "How long has she been paying your rent?" He swallowed.
A year.
"Maybe more. Why does it matter?" I answered for him. "Almost 2 years." Silence.
Shock.
Real recognition. Then I dropped the screenshot on the table. Cash withdrawals after every transfer. "You told me it went straight to the landlord," I said. "So why all the cash?" My dad asked quietly, "Are you gambling?" The way Tyler said no, too fast, told us everything. The truth hit like an earthquake. He'd been using my money to bet, to chase losses, to lie his way through life. Megan broke first. "You gambled with her money?" "Tyler, how could you?" He spiraled.
Begged. Pleaded.
But something had shifted. For the first time, the room saw him, not as the victim he played, but the storm he created. And finally, the weight wasn't on me alone. He accused me of choosing my bank account over my brother. But I looked him dead in the eyes and said, "I'm choosing my sanity. I'm choosing my future. And I'm choosing the version of you that might exist if you finally face the consequences." Because the truth is, unconditional love doesn't mean unlimited access. Boundaries aren't barriers, they're oxygen masks. The aftermath wasn't pretty. My parents enabled him a bit. He got angry, then silent. But reality eventually cornered him. He downsized.
Got a second job.
Cut up credit cards. Started counseling. And one night he texted, "Paid rent today. Myself." That hit harder than any sorry. Months after the infamous picnic, we attended another gathering.
No toast, no drama.
Just family, quieter now, more aware. Tyler nudged me and said, half smiling, "Relax. No toast today. Besides, I paid my rent this morning." For the first time in years. We laughed. Really laughed. Not because the past was gone, but because the present finally felt honest. If there's one thing I learned, it's this. Family love isn't proven by how much you let yourself be drained. It's proven by how much truth you're willing to stand on, even when your voice shakes. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is put the weight down. If this story made you feel something, anger, hope, vindication, hit that like button. Subscribe for more real stories where justice finds its voice. And tell me in the comments, would you rather be the one everyone leans on until you break, or the one called selfish for finally choosing yourself? Your story might help someone else close the account they've been afraid to end. Thanks for watching.